Final Four here on a rainy Saturday afternoon here in Markham, Ontario for the semifinals of the U18 AAA Central Region Championship. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Angus Glen Community Centre. I'm Mitch Kane bringing you today's action. Semifinal number one. It features the 3 seed, the North Shore Whitecaps, hot off of 3 straight wins, taking on the GTHL champion, the Toronto Titans. We should be in for a great battle between 2 great teams here today, as these 2 teams met back in the first game of the round-robin tournament, where it was the Toronto Titans who took away the 2-0 victory, but North Shore rattling off 3 consecutive wins here, and they are looking for more. We'll now take a look at the standings as the Toronto Titans, the 2 seed entering today, losing the head-to-head battle against the Waterloo Wolves, so they take on the North Shore Whitecaps here in the first game of the day. The Waterloo Wolves will take on the Markham Waxers later today at 3:30 in the other semifinal. Ottawa Myers Automotive and the North Bay Trappers have been eliminated from the tournament as just 4 teams remain. We'll now take a look at the home side goaltender today. It's David Healy. He's been phenomenal. A 3-0 record with a 1.00 goals against average, a .969 save percentage, and 2 shutouts in the Central Region Championship. On the other side, starting in net, it's number 31, Camden Ryan. He's got a 1-1 record with a 1.50 goals against average and a .944 save percentage through 2 games for the Whitecaps in the Central Region Championship. We'll now throw it down to rink level for the playing of the Canadian National Anthem.
In goal for the Titans, number 59, David Healy. All ice officials for this game, referees Nick DeCandia and Jake Gonçalves, linesmen Carter McKnight and Eric Lamouche. At this time, we ask if you're able to please rise, remove your hats for the playing of O Canada.
Starting lineup for the Toronto Titans today. On the back end, it's Ryan Kamenker alongside the captain Connor Barrett. Up front, Tadeo Tavernese alongside Dylan Nobley and Jaden O'Neill. Back into the lineup for the Titans today, Michael Alexiou, who's missed the last 2 games, but back in the lineup for the semis. On the other side, for the Whitecaps, on the back end, it's Dean Sheridan alongside Liam Hackett. Up front, Ethan McLeish, Braxton Howard, and Rowan Turner. Back to the lineup, Rocco Williams. He was out yesterday getting a little bit of rest before the semifinals. These 2 teams meeting early in the tournament. They played back on Monday, where it was the Toronto Titans who claimed the 2-0 victory off of the backs of a David Healy shutout. North Shore went 0 for 7 on the power play in that meeting. The power play has turned up since then, but the Toronto penalty kill still hot. We'll see how this plays out. Semifinal number 1 underway. A trip to the championship game on the line. Moved in the offensive end as Hackett will try and ring it around the boards. Puck comes free on the near side. McLeish will work it up in transition. Long lead feed, and it comes right to the blue paint as Healy's got to act quickly. He'll cover it up at the side of the goal. David Healy, phenomenal all week, phenomenal all season. The Mississauga, Ontario native, a 14-3-4 record with 8 shutouts in the GTHL this season, and he's elevated his play since. 2 shutouts during the week, including in yesterday's 5-0 victory over Ottawa Myers Automotive. Cameron Kerr to Barrett as he'll move it down the length of the ice. That one too strong as it goes for an icing call. Ryan tagged it up as the faceoff comes all the way back down to Toronto territory. When speaking to Tyler Turcotte, the head coach of the Whitecaps, about the 3 straight wins, he mentioned that they've had the belief all week. And the locker room at an all-time high right now. The guys are feeling good. Play back to the point, Hackett long shot in, that misses wide. Tavernese will chop it out to neutral as Hackett corrals in his own end. Long feed up the middle for Rocco Williams. He gets bumped off the puck, but able to shimmy it forward behind the goal. Armour, near side Devenish. Up the boards as O'Neill flicks it out to the red line. Arsenault moves it far side. They'll be chipped around Armour as here comes Williams. He fires a shot blocked in front by Devenish. Hutchings behind the goal, makes a nice move around Armour. Puck loose at the side as Hutchings can't corral. Williams looks to move it over the middle where Tavernese takes it away and plays it up ice, but it's intercepted by Arsenault. Arsenault for Hutchings. He'll take it to the corner and hit the brakes. Up high, Arsenault, long shot in, tip play on the back door. Callery fired it wide. Debut stepping up. Hutchings behind, looking for the quick return feed, but can't connect. Debut has it knocked off his stick as he'll give a shove to Armour. He'll take the puck over the middle. Blake Debut to the blue line. It's blocked in front as he regains control, but it's back to Drew. Drew off the boards for Callery. He'll take it across the red as move far side. Farmer looking for Callery, but that pass Aaron as it goes to the near side corner. Patrick Farmer was terrific in yesterday's victory, having a goal and 3 assists in the win, the 6-2 victory over the Trappers. Devenish rings it back around. Barrett controls behind his own net. He'll wait as he leaves it off. Pavlovic. Drop pass for Devenish as looks for the long feed down the middle as North Shore not allowing Toronto into the offensive end in the early goings as Pavlovic chops it forward for Bluin. Bluin returns it to the near side as it'll be walked out to center. Jackman with control. He backhands it through, taken away by Barrett. Barrett will get to center, fire it in deep as Ryan has difficulties with it, but he'll cover up quickly. There's a look at Jason Nobley, the head coach of the Toronto Titans. When he talked yesterday about the victory, he mentioned that they were very consistent. He thought it was their most complete game of the week. And David Healy played very well, made a lot of timely saves. And in these playoff-style matchups, he mentioned that a lot of greasy goals get created, looking for the tips in front. Looking to create more of that today against a hot goaltender in Cam Ryan on the other end. Sheridan behind the goal. Will be flicked out over the head of Filipponi, and it will be too strong. Icing call. We're going back the other way. Shots 1-1 in the early going. Jason Nobley also mentioning when talking about the matchup today in the semis against the Whitecaps, they're an extremely hard-working team. They are always in the game. Discipline needs to be a focus. As Toronto took 7 minor penalties, luckily their penalty kill went 7 for 7 in that matchup as Barrett holds the line. Balanek tries to work it over the middle, taken away by McLeish. Balanek had the opening goal of the Central Region Championship against the Whitecaps, just 2.5 minutes into that one. Puck out to center. Hackett will take it back in his own end, goes D to D up to Sheridan. Sheridan long feed is stumbling at the line. Filipponi as Howard takes in the offense end. Sharp angle shot turned away by Healy. Big rebound scooped away by Balanek. Balanek in the rush. He gets bumped off the puck by Kane Goulet. Turned over. Krula in the slide. He walks in, fires a shot, blocked away. Jam play at the side. Ryan way out of his goal, playing it back over the middle, and the net comes off. A golden opportunity for the Titans less than 4 minutes into this one. Balanek knocking it down with the glove. Couldn't get it to the front as Arsenault coming through the paint to try and help out his goaltender knocks the post off. We'd like to say thank you to our partners for supporting today's event. Special recognition goes to Milk, a proud partner of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Dairy Farmers of Ontario are proud to support young athletes and encourage healthy, active lifestyles. Play to the point. He'll come loose as Kinchin moves it forward. Williams across the line. Long shot in, turned away by the stick of Healy's. He bats it out of midair as the puck was coming back towards goal, and Healy bumps the net off there as we'll get a stoppage. David Healy, it was a 31 save shutout in the tournament opener against the Whitecaps. Alexiou against Williams on the draw. Alexiou in his first game since Wednesday. Sulich takes Drew into the boards. Puck finally comes free as Longo over the middle. Longo walks in, fires a shot blocked by Alexiou. Comes loose to the side in front of the Toronto benches. Bluin gets hammered by Sulich, and Toronto's in transition. Pinaretta across the line. Looks to drop it off as Longo, a hard back check to break it up, and he'll take it 1-on-2 the other way. Joining him in the rush, Drew. Long shot from Longo as rebound was there. Drew couldn't get a stick on it first. Pinaretta takes a bump as Alexiou moves it over the middle, taken away by Longo as he'll fire it around. Rocco Williams never tagged up as North Shore still offside, and delayed offside called. Face-off coming all the way back to the Whitecaps' end. Whitecaps 3-2 throughout the week. Got shut out 2-0 in each of their first two games against the Titans and the Wolves. Ended up rallying around, scoring 15 goals in the last 3 games, all in victories. On the other end, the Toronto Titans 4-0-1. Their lone loss in overtime against the Wolves by a score of 4-3. Sheridan takes it behind the goal as nearly gets knocked down, stays on his feet. His stick nearly slashed out of his hands. No call as Sheridan gets knocked down across the line. Hutchings in the corner, scooped up by Nobley. Nobley the other way, delayed call upcoming. Believe it's against Sheridan as off the line, offside. As pushing and shoving beginning in the corner. North Shore likes to turn it up. A very physical team as here's the replay of it as no call went against Sheridan. He was quite upset and he comes in the back there and slew foots O'Neill. Snap stick on the ice and tripping the call against Sheridan. So Toronto to the power play. They're 5 for 21 in the tournament. Good for 23.8%. Going against the Whitecaps penalty kill, sitting in the mid-80s at 84%. They're 16 of 19 on the week. Tyler Turcotte mentioned his team takes pride in the penalty kill. This one's up to the point. Kamiker to Balanek. Works it down, long feed across, looking for Krula, couldn't connect. Puck comes back out to center. The Whitecaps penalty kill set around the mid-80s throughout the OMHA season. Mid to high 80s as Balanek will work it out the other way. Gets the center and he'll just fire it in deep as that one jumps the stick of Ryan. Played up the wall as Krula holds it in. Moved it back down, but McLeish able to get the free clear and send it down all the way to David Healy. He'll leave it off Balanek. Lucas Balanek, 5 goals and 3 assists through 5 games in the Central Region Championship as the puck's cleared back out to center. 1:04 remaining on the power play. Williams on the attack as him and Kamiker go hard into the boards. Williams picking the pocket of Kamiker, but it's taken away by Pursley as he'll fire it in the offensive end and he'll go on the attack. Ryan out of the net. Pursley was bearing down on him. North Shore in transition as Sandiford with a burst of speed, working one-on-one to the goal. Healy will shuffle it away. Nobley knocks it back behind his own goal, as he'll go for a change. Onto the ice, Pavlovic. Krula working up the middle. Balanik to the outside, return feed, looking for Krula as Balanik steps up on it, puck comes free. Here comes Drew in transition. Puck hops off his stick momentarily, but he's got the lane. Drew to the outside, forehand shot, rebound was there as it was kicked away by Healy. Filipponi has his pocket picked as Drew back on the attack. He'll just fire the long lining shot, and Healy will get the stop. As a big hit behind the play, as Howard laid out Balanik after the whistle. And no call upcoming. Here's the latest look at the last chance by Drew. Lost control of it, but that actually helped him. It got him spaced behind the defense of Filipponi and looking for the shot for rebound. It was a perfectly placed shot. Trying to find that low pad and ideally kick it out to his teammate bearing down on the back door, but Healy a good job to kick it safely away. Filipponi works it up behind the goal line, leaves it off Pinaretta. We're back to even strength. Pinaretta to the outside, he'll ring it around as it goes behind the goal. Goulet off the boards. Clears back out to center as Barrett to Filipponi. Gets the line and fires it in deep. Ryan can't slow it down. Zulich. Debut now the other way. Barrett steps up on him but misses as Debut in the offensive end. Trying to shake off the check from Pinaretta as Debut side of the goal. Jam play, he scores! Blake Debut, the first goal of the semifinals, and the Whitecaps have the lead. Jam play at the side. Debut with the chip around Barrett. Takes it all the way around the net. Delivers a couple reverse checks to Pinaretta. Gets away from him, and no one comes down on him right at the goal line as Debut just fights it in front of the net. And he'll jam it home as the Whitecaps lead. North Shore playing with all kinds of confidence over the last 3 days. And they lead against the GTHL champs. This one's sent in from center as icing the call. Ryan went out to play it. And the faceoff will be at center as indicated by the linesman McKnight. Debut unassisted as for Blake Debut, that's his fourth goal of the championship. Puck comes free, Krula back to Kamenker. He'll move it up as it's played in the offensive end. Sheridan back over the middle, long lead feed, no icing the call. Angers trying to shake off the check from Sandiford as they both go tumbling to the ice. Jackman looking to move it to the point. Lacona taps it forward, can't get around the big defenseman Sheridan. That's pinned up right in front of the Toronto bench. That one poked out free as Lacona goes in on the attack. Sheridan blocking him from the puck. Sheridan gets taken into the glass as Hackett whiffs on it on the clearing attempt. Sandiford chips it off the boards as pushing in the offensive end. Farmer trying to get back on Kamenker, gives him a whack as Kamenker gets away from the danger. Moved over the middle. Jackman returns the feed all the way back as Bluen to it. He'll get hammered into the boards by Pursley on the far side as Toronto knocking the puck free. Longo with it the other way. Here comes Longo across the line. Tries to make the move around Devonish. He'll scoop up the loose puck in the corner. Longo takes himself down as the puck goes behind the goal. Williams on it first. The spinning pass intended for Kitchen over the middle as Pursley knocks down Bluen. Pursley with it across center as he'll get across the red line, fire that one just wide of the goal. Drew back on it as we approach the midway mark of the first period. 10 and change to go here in the first. So we'll move forward for Balanik as it's knocked off his stick. Balanik to the outside. Saucers it over the middle. Krula from distance. He fires that down low as Balanik at the side of the goal, turned away by Ryan as he'll be played all the way into the offensive end, icing the call as North Shore is trying to slip the bodies out. Barron Rings. This puck stoppage is brought to you by the official championship ring provider of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Barron Rings proudly celebrates the achievements of athletes by creating lasting symbols of success and excellence. Shot 6-3 for the Whitecaps here in the early goings. Balanick on the draw as it's taken away by Drew. Drew, backhand shovel pass up the middle as Longo gets across the line, bashes it in deep, and the Whitecaps will get a change. Armour to Devonish. Long feed knocked down by Arsenault in neutral as scooping it back the other way, McLeish. McLeish plays it forward as Armour takes it away. Balanick. He's across the red line, across the blue line, dancing into the offensive end, knocked away by Arsenault. Huge hit on the near side board. That's going to draw a call. And more pushing and shoving after the whistle. Balanick and Howard getting into it as here's the replay of the last attempt for Balanick. Dancing through but knocked away by Arsenault. The long lead forward and Armour with the big hit. And it's going to be a 2-minute call for boarding against Armour as North Shore to the power play for the first time tonight. North Shore's power play 2 for 33, just operating at 6.1%. Well, the penalty kill for Toronto, they've been very strong. Hursley drops it back. Barrett rings it around to Nobley. Nobley up the other way as he'll backhand it in deep. Sheridan behind his own goal. North Shore scored just their second power play goal of the tournament in yesterday's 6-2 victory over the Trappers, as now will be tipped at the line. Nobley goes on the pin. Percy trying to knock the puck free as Hutchings comes in to try and help his teammates. Sabu trying to work that puck free as it comes to the line. Sheridan as he holds the line, backhands it to open space. Hackett took a tumble, and Filipponi will get a second attempt done and clear the line. Nobley on it first as he'll backhand it through, whiffs on the dump-in attempt as Sheridan controls. Sheridan takes it all the way behind as he'll leave it off for Farmer. Farmer, the Whitby, Ontario native, had 10 points in the OMHA playoffs. He'll leave it off Drew. Drew up the middle, backhand pass across the line as Williams will play it in behind the goal. Pursley to it first. Farmer pinning him off. Williams coming to help. Puck comes free. Kamaker bashes it forward. Nobley clears it down the length of the ice as Ryan will go out to slow it up. 32 seconds remain on the power play. Drew behind the goal. He'll walk it up. Plays it over to the far side. Farmer. He'll retreat as he gets cut off by a pair of Titans as Pinaretta rings it around the glass and into the offensive end. 15 seconds left on the penalty to Armour. Working it up, Longo with a burst of speed. Longo hard skating through the neutral zone. He'll take it to the outside and all the way around the goal. Longo, long feed across for Farmer as that one goes out to neutral, and Armour is back free. We're even. McLeish will pick it up in his own end, looking to build up speed. He'll chip it in on the backhand as Angers to it first. He'll leave it off Kamenker. Bouncing puck over the middle. McLeish controls. Working to his forehand. The toe drag shot. Rebound chance in the goal. Off the post. Turner missed the awning cage. Healy had no clue where it was. Pavlovic working it out the other way as Pinaretta leaves it off Angers. He'll spin it back. A golden opportunity missed for the Whitecaps to go up by 2. Goulet drops it off Arsenault. Over the middle of the ice as it's taken away as here comes Sulage on the rush. He'll drop it off. Pavlovic works in. Shot on is turned away, but a penalty upcoming as Toronto will go back to the power play. Here's a look at the chance the other way. McLeish, the shot. Healy had no clue, and Turner, the awning cage, fired it off the far side post, and it stayed out. Here's another look at it. Has a great shot, shows it there. Turner thought he had the tap-in goal. Toronto back to the power play, 0 for 1 on the evening. Kamenker from the point. Across the line, Balanik. He'll work downhill. He fires a shot. It's turned away. Near side, Balanik. He'll wait. Moved across Krula. Krula up at the point. Long feed across Balanik. He fires a shot up and over the target. Krula back on the far side wall. Looks over his options. Walks in. He fires a shot up and out of play. Toronto power play 5 for 22 in the tournament as Nobly talking with Krula. There's the plan for the last minute 29 on the advantage. Krula on the draw. He'll take on McLeish. Tied up in one back as McLeish rings it around. Arsenault fires it as deflected and knocked down by Toronto. They hold the line. Balanik up to the point. Kamenker waits. Moves it over to the far side as he'll fire a shot blocked in front. Kamenker rings it around. Balanik stepping up on the pinches. He'll take it towards the corner. Up to the point as it's back to Balanik. He'll swing it down low for O'Neill. Back to Balanik. Tries to cut over the middle. Loses control of it as it goes behind the goal line. Goulet looks to work it out. He's got space, will go to the backhand and flip it down the length of the ice. Both teams looking for a wholesale change as the second unit comes out for Toronto. Krula and Balanik stay out. Balanik over the middle. Got a stick check, but still with it in the offensive end. He'll play it around the boards. It's hard off the boards, but held to the line. Filipponi. He'll slide it down. Moves it across. Balanik at the point. Long feed across. Filipponi over the middle. Slingshots it down. Krula with a long shot and got tipped in front and wide. Balanik a one-time drive. Covered off by Ryan. Pushing and shoving after the whistle as Williams and Krula get into it. Wrestling match down to the ground. Krula rips Williams' helmet off, and here we go! Throwing fists in the semis as Williams scores the takedown. Williams still throwing punches here, trying to get around the officials. Two linesmen containing them, and Rocco Williams fires up the bench. Williams and Krula kicked out of the game as here's the replay of it, a shoving match in front, and once Krula got the helmet off, it all broke loose as a couple extra cross checks and pandemonium. The first fight of the weekend between Williams and Krula. Both will be ejected. As the officials will have a conversation in front of the PA box. And we'll see what comes of this as Toronto is still on the power play. Big losses for both teams. Rocco Williams, 16 points on the year, 10 points in the playoffs, and 2 points here in the Central Region Championship. Haymakers thrown between Krula and Williams. On the other side, Noah Krula had 25 points on the season, 4 goals and 3 assists throughout the week in the championship. Entropy, the official online championship apparel provider, offers championship gear available for order now. 5:02 to go here in the first period. The Whitecaps leading 1-0. Shots 8-3 in favor of the North Shore Whitecaps. Here's a look at the goal from earlier. Blake DeBoo. The single man effort shrugs off the checks a couple times from Pinaretta and just works it out front. Able to fit it between the 5-hole of Healy. That was the first goal against Healy for the Whitecaps, as Healy shut them out in the first meeting back on Monday. Longo and Barrett, conversation with the officials as there will be a lone minor penalty against Toronto here, so we'll go to 4-on-4 for 19 seconds before North Shore back to the power play with 1:41. The officials both getting a word as we'll look to come back here. Back to action as North Shore will send out their 4. To the box, Alexiou will come serve the penalty. As we're finally ready to get back to action after the fight between Krula and Williams. Farmer and Persley on the draw. Face off clean one back by Persley. Barrett off the boards, looking for Nobley, taken away. Sheridan to the backhand, looks to move it forward. Filipponi comes loose. Sheridan shot, he scores! Dean Sheridan makes it 2-0 Whitecaps. The energy injection they were looking for. Right after the fight, Sheridan picking up the loose puck. Can't get it clean as it comes back to him through traffic. And he fires it right by Healy. Dean Sheridan, his first goal of the championship comes in the semifinals. And the Whitecaps extend the lead. Longo will take it all the way back as back to the ice, Turner. Power play now for the Whitecaps, 1:36.
From the 14:58 mark of the first period.
He'll walk it out. Moves it to the far side, Farmer.
Number 86.
Rang around the boards.
2 minutes for his
Gallery leaves it up. Jackman and Champley off the move. Rebound, they score! Joey Longo makes it 3-0 Whitecaps. Two quick ones. And the Whitecaps are rolling here in the first. Joey Longo scooping up the loose puck and fires it home. The Whitecaps are off and running here. 2 goals in 29 seconds. Toronto looking for the reset button. O'Neill moves it over. Pavlovic, a toe drag shot. Rebound, Jampley at the side of the goal. Ryan turns it away.
Number 19,
Daminger.
Lucas Balanik.
Arsenault gets
4 minutes
pinned
for head contact.
as Turner will play it around the boards.
Number 93,
Pavlovic with it on
Rocco
the side
Williams.
wall.
5 minutes for fighting and a game
Moved down.
misconduct.
Pavlovic
Number
moves it
44,
around.
William
Cavernese
Sandiford, 4 minutes
up
for head
top.
contact.
Kamiker walks
All
the
the
line,
penalties,
fires
14
down low,
58.
and it's turned away. Another chance for the Whitecaps in
North
transit.
Shore, second
Drop back,
goal,
Turner
scoring
into the offense zone.
17,
Backhand
Sheridan.
shovel shot, scooped away by Healy.
Time of that
A
goal,
much
15
needed
minutes,
save
9
for Healy
seconds. Sheridan
to get
for
a
Longo at
reset.
15:09.
3 goals on 10 shots here in the first period for the Whitecaps.
System number 73, Ethan Jackman. Time of that goal, 15 minutes, 38 seconds. Longo from Jackman at 15:38.
A lot to unpack for the PA announcer here. Still announcing the melodies from the fight. The 2 quick goals by North Shore, and they're on the attack again. Hutchings to the side of the goal. Backhand pass as Healy takes a shot at Debu, and Angers now pinning him to the ground, and we have more. Pushing and shoving all over the place here as Kamiker throwing at Debu, and we might have another. Kamiker with Debu tied up as Kamiker loses the helmet. Calories comes undone. And just chaos breaking out here in game 1 of the semifinals. We'll see what the calls are here. Healy took the initial shot as he took a lunge at Debu as he was coming by. As here's the last look at it, Turner moving it over, and it .331 to play here in the first, and the officials didn't have to pull out the notebooks here to write down all the infractions. Officials having a discussion here. 3:31 to play in the first. Here's a look at Tyler Turcotte and his squad, the former defenseman for the U of T Varsity Blues. His team playing with a lot of spirit all week long. Well, the officials still working it out here as an eventful first frame from the Angus Glen Community Centre here in semifinal number 1. Shots 11-3 in favor of the Whitecaps. Blake Debu, the first goal of the period, unassisted. Sheridan at the 4:51 mark, assisted by Longo. And then just 29 seconds later, Longo assisted by Jackman on the power play. As North Shore 1 for 2 on the man advantage tonight. Here's a look at the last scrum on the dual angle look. Everyone partners up, it seems. Kamiker really got into it with Debu as Debu knocked his helmet off. We'll see what plays out after all of this. If the teams have gotten it out or if a spark is sent after the first one between Williams and Krula certainly sent a jolt to the Whitecaps. Rocco Williams firing up his bench as he was taken off the ice. And soon after was the two quick strike goals. The two teams still jawing at each other in the penalty box. As Barrett and McLeish, the representatives for the two sides. And it appears Walsh is getting shown the gate. Ryan Walsh ejected here from the semifinal, him and Krula. Ryan Walsh, 2 assists in the Central Region Championship. 2009 born forward, was playing on that top line alongside Krula and Balanik. As Krula also ejected from this one. Here's the Sheridan goal. That was the 2-0 marker. As Sheridan, his first goal of the championship. There's the celebration from the third as Joey Longo made it 3-0, his second goal of the championship. 2 minutes up on the board as Toronto seemingly the only minor penalty. Toronto dug themselves into a hole here in the first. They trail 3-0 here with 3:31 to play. And North Shore will roll out the power play unit. That's 1 for 2 in the game. Here's the replay from earlier in the game when it was 1-0. The initial save by Walsh and Turner ringing it off the post. That could have made it 2-0 in the early goings. But since then, it has been all North Shore. 3 goals on the period. The Toronto Titans only 3 shots to this point. North Shore playing with all kinds of confidence right now, as the penalties are constantly getting inputted here. It is just chaos. I recommend taking a look at it on the OHF website. Just non-stop flooding in here as we're finally back to action. Farmer on the draw against Nobley. The 2:22 set to square off as the official having a chat on the near side with Pursley. It's already been a 46-minute first period here from the Angus Glen Community Centre as Alexiou will go to the box as well. That bench on both sides getting shorter and shorter. Just 8 players aside on the bench. As we are underway, Devonish sends it down the length of the ice, right on target as it's shuffled away by Ryan. Chaotic first frame here. Still with time to go. 3:15 as Farmer moves it forward off the dasher. Banked off the boards, Longo. He'll make a move towards the goal line. Longo takes it behind as Devonish pins him up. Turner to the point for Drew. Waits, saucers it across for Jackman. Jackman, he fires a shot.
From the 16:29 mark. For Toronto, number 11, Ryan Kaminker. 2 minutes for roughing and a double minor for head contact.
Farmer.
Number 17, Ryan Walsh. A double minor for head contact. a 10-minute misconduct, a second 10-minute misconduct, and a game misconduct for 2 misconducts in one game. For North Shore,
two
number
misconducts to
34,
wash out.
Blake DeBoo, a double-minded for head contact.
Longo near side.
26, Dylan Callery.
Jackman works
2
downhill.
minutes
He
for
fires
head
a shot,
contact.
turned away by Healy.
And 96, Max Hutchings, 2 minutes for 2 minutes for roughing. Again, all of those penalties at 16:29.
So you just heard it there from our PA announcer as 2 misconducts on the same play, but nonetheless 2 in the same game sends Ryan Walsh back to the locker room early. As it's a lot easier to have him explain it than me try to break it down looking at the live stats. 2:20 to go here in the first, 49 seconds on the power play. Sheridan at the point. He'll move it across Hackett. He'll wait up top. Sheridan fires a shot, tipped in front and wide of the goal. McLeish, far side. Sheridan at the line. Across for Hackett. He'll tip it forward as Howard takes in the corner. Hackett trying to move it forward as Howard on the pin as well. Pursley pushing them against the wall. Hackett escapes. Gets it up Sheridan. He'll walk across the blue. Fires a shot in, turned away as big rebound to the corner. Kinchin whiffs on the batting attempt as it clears. No, Hackett holds. Moves it over. McLeish swings it down. Kinchin from a sharp angle. He'll move it up to McLeish on the far side wall. 5 seconds left on the power play. McLeish up high. Sheridan, long shot and turned away by Healy. Kinchin gets taken down as McLeish tied up on the back of the net. Kinchin to the point. Sheridan. Hackett to Howard. He waits over the middle. Sheridan. He fires a shot that misses wide of the target. Howard up to the point. Hackett down low. Intercepted by Nobley. It's poked free of the line and Pursley will go on the chase, but Sheridan cuts him off and will be to the puck first. Last minute of play here in the first. Whitecaps lead 3-0. Long lead feed intercepted by Tavernese. He'll move it forward into the offensive end as Sheridan rings it around the boards. Puck will come free. Howard, a bouncing puck. Scooped up and moved out by McLeish. McLeish shakes off the stick check as a long shot in and goes up and out of play with 35.7 to go. North Shore now 1 for 3 on the power play tonight after the last kill by the Titans. Titans only had 9 goals against through 5 games. Already 3 in the first against the Whitecaps. Arsenault dancing on the line. Armour, long lead feed. Balanik. He's across the line. He'll hit the brakes. He fires a sharp angle shot. Caught in the glove of Ryan. And throws for a face-off to the left side. Camden Ryan, a 10-2-3 record in the OMHA this season with a 1.38 goals against average. He had the 3rd best playoff goals against average in the OMHA playdowns. Also supporting a .944 save percentage through his 2 games in the tournament. Balanik, a quick shot, misses wide of the target. Armour. Long shot in is blocked in front by Jackman as he's slow to his feet. Bouncing puck around the slot as it clears of the line by Longo. As he'll push for a last-minute chance as Longo gets pinned off into the boards by Armour. Balanik scoops it away. Puck comes free into the Toronto end, and that will end a chaotic first here from the Angus Glen Community Centre. A 51-minute first period finally comes to an end. The score 3-0 in favor of the North Shore Whitecaps. You're not going to want to miss a second of second period action. Join us here after the short break.
got something to call mine. Oh, I need someone to talk to. Right here, right now. Oh, we are on our way. Starting today.
The TELUS Cup is coming to Peterborough. Canada's men's U18 National Club Championship is taking over the Peterborough Memorial Centre. From the opening face-off to the final goal of the championship game, the TELUS Cup delivers unforgettable moments at the highest level of U18 hockey in Canada. Be there for every moment. Get your tickets now at hockeycanada.ca/TELUS Cup.
Gold medal winner!
There's change, and change is always good.
I'd like to continue making sure freedom of movement is smooth. It's easier for kids to play, making sure as many kids who want to play can play, making sure that the OHF is well managed financially, well governed. Those things they're not sexy, but they're important.
Being part of the future of hockey, I'd like to make sure that hockey continues being hockey. My goal also is to be that devil's advocate, helping understand and question what we are doing to make sure that it is the right thing to do in the future.
Progress that I would like to see is to really continue to push the game and to push the quality of our events and the player experience and bring in some new and exciting and innovative initiatives like online streaming for our OHF championships.
For me, it's all about the players. They will always need support. We need to nurture their well-being physically, emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. How can we do that in a good way? What does that look like? Growth and development, what change looks like in a good way, the culture and respect and integrity for the benefit of the players, and accessibility at all levels. So recruitment and retention for players. How do we get volunteers on board? How do we keep them involved? And how can we make that process streamlined and easier for that to happen?
What I would like to see is spend more time on recreational hockey and provide the recreational player who make up most of our membership feel more important and more worthy of the attention that some of the representative teams and people get, and translate that into the recreational stream.
It's an avenue by which players get to participate in a recreational activity that's structured, that's safe, and that, as I said previously, produces some pretty good citizens.
What progress I'd be looking for are just continued work towards inclusion, diversity, making the game more affordable, making the game easily accessible in terms of registration, and also continue the path of continued growth within hockey.
The vision of hockey in Ontario is a very complicated issue. There are a lot of people that have a lot of different views about what it should be. We work together better now than we ever have. We're on the same page more now than we ever have. So my job is to listen to people.
I'm most excited about the leadership role that OHF is taking on, and you can really see it in the customer service that's being delivered. Always thinking about the players and always thinking about the experience of enriching communities through hockey.
Success as chair to me would be having people say the members of the Ontario Hockey Federation get along better than they've ever gotten along. We collaborate more than we've ever collaborated. We trust each other more than we've ever trusted each other. If we all communicate and we all trust each other, we'll all make progress.
Personally, receiving the scholarship, it's meant a lot to me. It kind of brought some light to what had happened to me. I wasn't able to work for about 6 months. It's helped me and my family a lot, just paying for school and it being less of a burden. I want kids to have the same experience I had when I was a kid. I think a lot of people bond over hockey and what it's given to them, so I want to give the same to the future youth.
As someone that never played at a high level of hockey, I never really imagined being a professional referee until 2022. And I really thought, where could this job go? So I played A in Mississauga, and the association reached out to our team for timekeepers. And when I wanted to start, they offered me a position to start officiating. From then, just climbing through the ranks of the Mississauga Hockey League, Greater Toronto Hockey League, and into the Ontario Hockey League. Not playing at a high level is one thing that sticks out when you go to referee at a high level. I feel like I have something to prove going into these bigger games and big rinks. Some coaches know that you never played at a high level, so how could you be refereeing? And it's important to remind yourself that you're there for a reason, just like they are. Your name didn't fall out of a hat and all of a sudden you're refereeing a professional hockey game. Off seasons are where you make the most gains as an official and player. Something that I think is very important as an official that didn't play high-level hockey is your skating ability. Take power skating lessons, sit on the ice, whether it's with your friends or alone, and get skated. As you climb the ranks and start to officiate major, junior, and professional hockey, you really start to notice the difference that communication makes with the players, coaches, other officials, and above. Staying composed, professional, and handling pressure is very important. Stakes are so high that we need to make correct, accurate decisions as best as we can. We don't get replays like you do at home watching the TV. We've got to make it that split second, and it's got to be as accurate as possible. I think getting into officiating can be daunting at times. You get yelled at, people think you're wrong, when really most of the time you are right. You start second-guessing your abilities and you get discouraged. So I think just reminding yourself that all the hard work and dedication that you put into over the years, it's very rewarding in the end.
So that specific shooting drill that we were working on today is to help give them those extra shooting techniques so that in a game-like situation, they're not just using one or two, they've got multiple ways of being able to shoot the puck. Not only does that make it more difficult for the defenseman to defend, but also for that goaltender to not only track it, but making sure that they're able to square up on the puck as well. So just helps them become more of that lethal player that they're looking for at that elite level.
Out here, we're working on a lot of transitioning, walking the blue line, puck retrievals. Lots of that has to do with being able to take good angles to pucks, good routes to pucks, being able to shoulder check, being able to execute some deception. There's a setup, there's a trap, there's a payoff to every move. So making sure that the players are understanding the process in how to identify danger, identify options, and how to misdirect players under a stressful environment.
So a lot of our focus points here at the Program of Excellence Under 15 is going to be helping the goaltenders a lot with their preparation before the shot. Things like leading with the eyes, scanning the ice before they make their movements, being able to put themselves into the right places at the right times, and ultimately set themselves up for success when the shot comes off the stick. We're also going to be tying in a couple small technical areas where we're talking about a lot of sequencing in their movement, about how the body is supposed to operate from the top of the head down into their skates in order to generate that real strong and effective movement.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for second period action here of semifinal number 1 between the Toronto Titans and the North Shore Whitecaps. The Titans come in as the number 2 team, taking on the Whitecaps, the number 3 seed. But here's the replays of the first. It was all North Shore in the early goings. Blake DeBoo with the ice-breaking goal. The solo effort to squeak it past Healy to put his side up 1-0, and then the hijinks got brought out. As here's the look at the second goal by Sheridan to make it 2-0 after the big fight between Noah Krula and Rocco Williams. The celebration on the third goal from Joey Longo on the power play to make it 3-0 at that point. Shots 13-5 in favor of the Whitecaps in the first frame. Score was 3-0 for the Whitecaps, as they've had the foot on the gas here in the semifinal. They come in off of 3 straight wins leading into today. Started the tournament 0-2. Started the tournament with a shutout loss to the Toronto Titans, as it was David Healy making a 31 save shutout in that game. North Shore went 0 for 7 on the power play in that one. They're 1 for 3 here today. Second period action ready to get underway here from the Angus Glen Community Centre, as the opening draw taken by the Whitecaps. Sheridan, long feed, that one deflects off and into the North Shore bench, as we'll get a quick reset here, just 8 seconds into the second. Vibes are high on the North Shore side. They've had the belief all week. The room at an all-time high, according to Tyler Turcotte, after knocking off 3 straight conference champions to lead to the semis. Looking to knock off a 4th here in the Titans, as Turner will chip it off the boards. Lacona moves it forward. Turner knocks it ahead with a stick as McLeish to the point. Howard, a bouncing puck to neutral. It'll be played right back in deep as Ryan has trouble slowing it up. Sheridan advances through neutral as Howard has it tied up in front of the timekeeper box. McLeish hits the brakes, moves it across the red line as he'll fire it in deep. Healy out to slow it up. Healy backhands it forward. As Sandiford was knocked down, he pops that high with the diving effort with the stick. Sandiford back in deep as Barrett controls. Played around the boards to the near side as it'll be worked out to neutral. Here comes Balanik one-on-one. Balanik over the middle. The low lining shot misses wide of the target. Balanik with 5 goals in the Central Region Championship. That one tipped off the stick of Ryan as it can't clear the line. Howard retreats. Arsenault, long lead feed over the middle as no icing the call as it got tipped by Sulage. Kamenker, Devenish, he'll walk it out. Davis Devenish, lead feed. It goes between the legs of Goulet as Arsenault back to it first. Arsenault, the Whitby, Ontario native, moves it up for Jackman. He'll bank it off the boards as he springs Farmer on the attack. Sandiford, the trailing man, as Farmer takes it to the blue line, puts it through the legs of Devenish as he was trying to get that puck back, but it's knocked out to neutral. 2 minutes into the second period here, as a penalty coming against Pavlovic. Head contact the call as he was coming by, looking to get up in the offensive end, and a cross-check made, and a penalty for Farmer. Unsportsmanlike conduct, the call. So instead of a North Shore power play, we'll stay 5-on-5. Patrick Farmer, he likes to get under your skin. But crossing the line there, the officials appearing that they're going to bear down on this game after the hijinks in the first period. They're not taking anything here in the early goings of the second. Bluin, he'll work it out as trying to escape the zone. Pinaretta holds it in as Ryan will cover at the side of the goal, crashing hard on the goal, Tavernese. Tadeo Tavernese, the Toronto, Ontario native, 31 points on the season in the GTHL. He had a goal and an assist in the Central Region Championship through the first 5 games. Callery and Pinaretta on the draw. Tied up in the feet as Drew tries to push it through. Pinaretta, open man, shot and scores! Tadeo Tavernese gets the Titans on the board. Bouncing puck in the slot. It gets whacked across to Tavernese, who finds himself wide open on the back door. And he fires it past Ryan. And here come the Titans. 2-goal lead now for the Whitecaps. Angers in his own end. Barrett moves it forward to Alexiou. That pass a little too strong as Sanderford looks to turn it up the other way. Bouncing puck.
Sportsmanlike conduct. Time of the penalties, 1 minute 59 seconds.
Nobly.
Pavlovic, Trooper head contact.
To the outside, Balanick, return feed, Nobly. Backhand shovel shot up and over the target of Ryan.
Toronto goal, scored by number 8.
Alexiou over the middle. He'll drop it off, Nobly. Waits. Good point, Armour. Long shot in, it's blocked by Hutchings and clears the line.
Pinaretta at 2:18.
Pinaretta picking up the assist, his first of the championship. Now 2 points for him. Weird bounce off the net as Ryan's got to clear it. Long shot in is blocked in front by Debut. Armour gets bumped and it's taken away by Hutchings as Armour quickly catches him in neutral. Alexiou flips it back in the zone. Alexiou led the Titans in goals and points in the GTHL this season, but he's had a quiet Central Region Championship. No points for him yet through the 3 games he's played. Toronto will wait behind the net. Long lead feed, Balanick across the line. Balanick waits, fires a shot just wide of the target. That one just held at the line. And too many men the call. Devonish was hustling to keep the puck in, but too many the call. As North Shore back to the power play here. 1 for 3 on the night. Jaden O'Neill will be sent to serve the minor infraction. The bench minor. Debut on the draw. Face off one back and controlled by Sheridan. He'll wait on the line, swings it down Hackett. That one outside of his reach as Kamiker looks to clear. That one off the boards, up and into the mesh netting with 15:56 to play in the second. We'd like to say thank you to our partners for supporting today's event. Special recognition goes to Milk, a proud partner of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Dairy Farmers of Ontario are proud to support young athletes and encourage healthy, active lifestyles. This one up to the point as Sheridan will walk the line. Long lead feed in. Rebound chance at the side as Hutchings couldn't capitalize. Hackett at the point. He'll swing it back Sheridan. Sheridan to the near side to Boo. That one pops off his stick as we worked back up towards the point. Pinned off on the near side at the hash marks. As it squirts free and Pursley able to clear the line. Hackett off the boards as Angers will send it right back to the other number 71 in Hackett. That one off the stick of the Uxbridge, Ontario native, Dean Sheridan. He has a goal, the second goal of the game for the Whitecaps. This one will be played around the net. Angers to it first. Hackett on the pinch. Nobly trying to clear the line as he'll get squeezed and it's sent down the length of the ice. This one bouncing puck right on Ryan as he'll play it out. Ryan to Drew. Drew works it up the middle to the outside, looking for Longo as it's dumped in to the offensive end. Callery bearing down on it. Puck comes right the side as Kamaker will look for the clear. It's held in. Drew walks across the middle. Near side, one-time shot by Jackman, turned away by Healy. Longo gets taken into the boards as Turner works it to the point. Drew across the middle. Return feed Longo. Down low looking for Jackman. Couldn't squeeze it all the way through as Jackman's taken down by Kamaker. Puck held in at the line. Toronto can't clear. 6 seconds left on the power play. Puck comes free. And it's fired up the middle. Not out of the line. It's held in. Jackman down low. Can't get that one for his. Filipponi finally clears the line. And no icing the call. Ryan out to play it. He'll have to move it quickly to Drew. As a long lead feed intended for Sandiford goes errantly. And icing the call. The North Shore bench not pleased. Toronto really struggling to get the puck clear of the line on that last penalty kill, but they survive. 3 for 4 on the kill in the game. 13:51. Go here in the second as Drew will come off. Howard having a chat with the official. An extended chat here as McLeish has a word for him before the draw. He'll go up against Pinaretta as McLeish gets kicked out. Sandiford in to take. Sandiford will win it back as Goulet hard off the boards. McLeish chips it forward and clear of the line. Barrett in his own end. He'll move it over for O'Neill. O'Neill flicks it forward, knocked down by the glove of Goulet as he tosses it around one, but O'Neill back to it first. Filipponi slingshot back for Barrett as he'll take off through the neutral zone. Barrett taps it around Arsenault. He'll take off in the offensive end. Backdoor feed. Couldn't squeeze it through to Tavernise. Toe drag shot in front and bouncing around. Rebound will be scooped up by Tavernise. Goulet behind the goal. Arsenault as Tavernise takes him in. Tavernise up to the point. Armour a low lining shot off the side of the goal. Pinaretta picks it up. He gets hammered by McLeish as the puck comes free for Armour. Up top, Devenish. Long shot in, looking for the deflection. Blocked by a skate boot of Arsenault. North Shore hemmed in here to the defensive end. Can't clear the line. Puck comes bouncing free. Held in by Devenish. Pinaretta looking for Armour on the back door. He fires a shot up and over the target. Arsenault will pin it to the boards. North Shore tired here. Can't get a change. Toronto looking to get some fresh bodies on in the offensive end as McLeish can't clear the line. Backed over the middle. Taken away by Howard. He can't clear the line. It's kept in by the Titans. Arsenault looking to just ice it. Held in at the line by Armour. Back over the middle. Balanick a shot. Rebound chance. Alexiou can't bash it away at the side. Alexiou in the corner. Moves it up for Armour. He waits. Backdoor feed. It's broken up by Goulet. He was looking for Lacona. The Whitecaps finally clear the line. And they'll look to get a couple fresh bodies on. They only get one. It's Joey Longo onto the ice. Armour across the line to Alexiou. He'll wait. Toe drag shot. Rebound chance in front. Goulet clears it out of the blue paint. Longo can't clear the line. Balanick over the middle. Arsenault takes it away. Fires it down the length of the ice as he springs Longo. Longo in alone. Rushes the net and he's taken out hard. Going in goal on Healy. Action-packed play in the offensive end for the Titans. But it's the Whitecaps who might have the best chance of them all. Longo trying to tuck it home as Devenish takes him into the post. A hard-nosed effort from Longo as he goes back to the bench. Appears to be okay as he'll come right back out looking for a fresh twig as his stick snapped, I believe, off the post. Longo stays out there as Tyler Turcotte talking to the official. Looks like a pretty strong defensive play there by the Titans D-man as North Shore back in the offensive end. Angers plays it behind the goal. Kamenker off the boards as Persley looks to clear the line. It's knocked down, and Kamenker will walk it out. He's got a burst of speed, tries to go around Hackett as he gets bumped off the puck. A huge hit laid by Kamenker as he takes Farmer into the boards. That fires up the Titans bench as the puck's knocked free. Sheridan, he'll move it up as he takes a whack and drop to the ice by Persley. Angers will retreat with it in neutral. He'll spin back to his own end as he leaves it off Kamenker. Over to the far side. Persley into the offensive end. Tries to dance it through the legs of Sheridan as he'll hit the brakes. Gets it through for Pavlovic. Farmer behind the goal line. Stretch feet over the middle. Knocked down by the stick of Persley, but it clears the line as Persley takes Longo into the boards. Bouncing puck. Held at the line by Pavlovic as Longo ties him up. And more pushing and shoving coming. The officials quick to break up this as Farmer trying to get back involved. Looks like the official is taking potentially 3 guys here. Farmer, Sheridan, and Sulage all to the box. The original call is going to be on Sheridan for cross-checking and roughing for the other 2. So the Titans to the power play here, and the officials trying to clean up anything after the whistle is getting called. They made that very clear here in the second period. Toronto to the power play, their 3rd opportunity of the night. McLeish against Alexiou on the draw. Face off one back, bouncing puck clears the line. Nobley will quickly hop on the loose puck as he'll leave it off Kamenker. Takes it all the way for a skate behind his own goal. Nobley and Persley, the high forwards, near the blue line as Balanik will walk it out the other way. He'll chip it off the boards and go in on the chase against Goulet. Goulet looks for the pin. Puck comes free for McLeish as he'll chip it off the open boards and down the length of the ice.
Number 17, Sheridan, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Number 22, Patrick Farmer, 2 minutes for roughing. Toronto, number 15, Daniel Sulage, 2 minutes for roughing. All the penalties at 9 minutes, 26 seconds. Sheridan, cross-checking. Farmer, roughing.
Healy way over his goal as he'll backhand it. Arsenault attempt! Great save by Healy! Oh my goodness! Healy trying to play the puck way out of his goal, turns it over. Arsenault looking for the long bomb shot from about half ice. And nearly connects, but the diving effort by Healy, an incredible save from the Titans netminder. Toronto looking to get started here on the power play, already a minute down. Filipponi walks it. He'll wait as Callery applying the pressure in the O-zone. Pavlovic can't fit it through as he's looking for Balanik as here comes Longo the other way. One-on-one, Longo with a burst of speed to the backhand. Shovel shot turned away by Healy is cleared out quickly by the Titans. Played in the offensive end is passed right over the middle, taken away by Callery and down the length of the ice as Longo will apply the pressure, but he'll quickly regroup and go for a change. O'Neill walks it through neutral, takes it to the outside. O'Neill hits the brakes, trying to get away from Drew as he's taken down. Balanik at the point. Filipponi waits, moves it over to O'Neill. He has his pocket picked at the line as it clears back out to center. Offside the call. as the clock hits 0 on the penalty to Sheridan. Farmer, Sheridan, and Sulich all out of the box. We're back to even strength with 8:34 to play here in the second. The OHF is pleased to partner with HTG Sports Services as its exclusive accommodation services provider. HTG is committed to providing support services for athletes, teams, and communities across Ontario. Arsenault waits. It's going to be chipped off the boards, up and out, as it will be covered quickly by Healy. The big bounce off the dasher, covered up by the Mississauga native. Lots of action here in semifinal number 1 of the Central Region Championship. Game 2 goes at 3:30 between the Markham Waxers and the Waterloo Wolves. They played in last night's game, the final game of the round robin. Pinnerette the outside, Lacona will bash it in. Arsenault to the point, it's intercepted by Devonish, long shot in, knocked down as Pursley tries to get a free shot through as it misses wide of the target. Now will be played around the goal. Goulet misses on the check as Pinnerette looks to work it to the point. It's worked free by Hutchings as North Shore in transition the other way. Armour lays the check on Hutchings. It's broken up, and here comes Toronto the other way. Lacona to the outside, moves it over the middle. It's intercepted. Ryan gets taken out hard by Pursley. And a penalty upcoming as Pursley pleads his case. As we'll take a look at it, Cam Ryan still down. It looked like Pursley kind of lost his edge. That didn't look intentional. But it's still going to be a call regardless, as you cannot run into the goaltender, especially in the blue paint. And Ryan is down holding his knee.
Game on!
Cam Ryan has played really well so far tonight, stopping 8 of 9 shots. As here's some replays of the Toronto goal to get them on the board off the stick of Tadeo Tavernese. There was the shot by Balanik, as here's the latest chance as Jaden O'Neill took it in the offensive end. Toronto really upping the intensity in the offensive end. Having trouble getting one by Cam Ryan as he's back to his feet. And starting to work it out here in the crease, and looks like he's going to stay in the game. So North Shore to the power play. Look at the man advantage for the 5th time here in the game. 7:36 to play in the second. North Shore still holds the 3-1 lead. The Titans lose one of their valuable penalty killers in Connor Pursley. Has moved up the line for Drew. Across the line, Longo, a toe drake shot. It's gloved down by Healy as he makes the stop just 8 seconds into the man advantage. Joey Longo, a goal and an assist in today's game. And that doubles his point production from the round robin. 4 points now on the week for Longo, as this one will come all the way down, and out to play it is Ryan. He'll hit the brakes as he's dangling around trying to evade Nobley, as Nobley doesn't want to come in contact with the goaltender after Pursley already to the box for goaltender interference. Puck up to the point. Drew leaves it off. Farmer waits. Tries to take to the outside as he'll go for a skate behind the net. Farmer waits. He'll come across the circle over the middle. Swings it down low for Longo. He spins back towards the point. Leaves it off Drew. Drew, a long shot in as it's blocked in the back of the leg by Farmer, I believe, as Armour will work it out. He turns it over as Longo takes. He's knocked to the ice. It'll be played to the point, but clear of the line as 1 minute down on the goaltender interference call to Pursley. Farmer across the line, offside is Zach Kinchin. There's a look at Patrick Farmer. He had an incredible game yesterday against the North Bay Trappers. A goal and 3 assists for Farmer in that one. His breakout game of the tournament. He was incredible for the Whitecaps this season. 28 points and 10 points in the playoffs that tied him for the team lead. Sheridan leaves for Hackett. Hackett back to Sheridan as Hill cut up ice. Sheridan to the outside. Hackett plays it off the dasher as Healy can't cover it up as Barrett will take. He can't clear the line as it's held in. Tied up on the near side boards. Up top Sheridan. Across the line Hackett. He'll fire the low lining pass down to Hutchings. Hackett up high. Wires a shot. Rebound chance as Hutchings scoops it up on the far side boards. Toronto can't clear the line. Hackett, long shot in, turned away by Healy. To the far side corner as Hackett back out with it on the point. Over to Kinchin. 6 seconds left on the power play. Sheridan walks, backdoor feed. Hackett a shot, great save by Healy. On engage, can't pull the trigger. The net comes off as we go back to even strength. A great chance for the Whitecaps. A spectacular pass from Sheridan finds Hackett on the back door, but a nice save by Healy. Whitecaps couldn't control the rebound as Healy knocked the goal off. There's a look at Zach Kinchin. 13 goals and 25 points in the OMHA this season for the Peterborough, Ontario native. McLeish on the draw. He'll be controlled by Kamaker as they'll bash it out to center. 5:30 to play here in the second. Whitecaps lead 3-1. Shots 22-9 in favor of the Whitecaps, representing the OMHA here in the Central Region Championships. Pavlovic across the line to the outside. He'll drop it up. One-time shot from Lacona. Misses wide on the near side. Angers holds the line as Arsenault goes for the pin. Arsenault kicks it forward to himself as he'll leave it off for Kane Goulet. That one played into the offensive end behind the goal. Healy will pounce on it with 5:57 to play. Gatorade, the official sports nutrition beverage of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Fueling athlete hydration and recovery to keep performance at its peak throughout the championship. Callery against Penneretta on the draw. Kamaker rings it around the boards. Tavernese to it first. He'll move it up. Penneretta with a burst of speed as he moves it over the middle as Longo will leave it off Bluin. Bluin right over the middle. It's taken away. Kamaker into the slot. He'll take it to the corner. Fires the sharp angle shot. Looked like that directed off the side of the head of Ryan as they'll be moved back for O'Neill. A backhand shovel shot. Play at the side of the goal. Penneretta couldn't contain the rebound. Tavernese to the point. He'll not be able to hold the line. Penalty upcoming. It's against the Whitecaps. Titans to the power play here. 6-on-5. Kamaker to the outside will be tagged up by Bluin. Holding the call against Longo. He doesn't agree. Heading to the box, Dylan Callery. Not Longo. Toronto to the power play. They're 0 for 3 tonight Alexiou on the draw. No Noah Krula out for the Titans as he got ejected back in the first. Moved over, Balanek walks in. Backdoor feed, looked for O'Neill as he got the deflection off, but couldn't find it on target.
Gallery 2 for holding at 15:56.
Puck will be cleared to the line by the Whitecaps as Healy out to slow it up for Nobley. Five forward look for the Titans as Balanek takes it with speed across the line. He'll work below the goal line as Balanek being checked off as he still has possession of it. Up top, Alexiou. Over Nobley, a one-time shot that misses wide of the goal. Balanek's got to hustle to hold the line. He gets it off O'Neill to Alexiou. Backhand pass for Nobley, a shot blocked in front by Goulet. Down low, Pursley. He'll wait with it. Banks it off the boards up Nobley. Down to Balanek. He'll work it downhill. A sharp angle shot covered off by Ryan as the stick of Pursley slashed out of his hands. Howard having words as Arsenault flings it to the far side corner. North Shore's got to be careful here to not get dinged for another call. 55 seconds remain in the power play. 2:59 in the period. Alexiou and Jackman in on the draw. Face off taken by North Shore as it clears the line all the way back to Healy. Mongo applying the pressure on Healy as he'll play it around the far side boards to stay away from the dangerous forward of the Whitecaps. Gallagher being hounded by Longo in the offensive end as Longo's got to hustle back to keep up with Gallagher as Jackman misses a huge hit as Sheridan takes behind the goal. Gallagher bumps him forward as Lacona rings it to the point for Balanek. Balanek to Gallagher. As the puck jump over his stick, he retreats it for Balanek. Over to Alexiou. Had the one-time loaded up, but couldn't pull the trigger on the front foot pass. Alexiou spins. He'll wait on the hash marks. Alexiou, backdoor feed. Balanek, a shot turned away by Ryan. One of his best saves of the night. Tavernese up top. Back to even strength. Balanek fires a shot. Rebound chance in the blue paint. Lacona walking away. He scores! Vincenzo Lacona gets the Titans to within one. One goal game with 22 minutes to play. Balanek the shot in front, and Lacona just kept whacking away at it. Ryan couldn't squeeze it, and Lacona's got his second of the championship. Some life injected into the Titans bench here. 1:59 to go here in the second. Goulet plays it far side as Armour will slap at it to the blue line. Kept in as Howard to the corner. Armour gets pinned off. Play up the near side as Drew to the front of the net has that knocked off his stick. Walking it out, Pavlovic tries to one-hand it through, but Rowan Turner knocked him off it. Pavlovic back to it. He'll fire it in the offensive end. Big bounce off the end boards as Drew collects. Moves it over Goulet. Had to act quickly as Sulage was bearing down on him. Howard across the line, fires it in off the stick into the end boards. Huge hit on the far side by McLeish. Long shot in will be scooped up by the glove of Healy with 67 seconds to play in the second. Here's the look at the hit as Sulage gets laid out by McLeish, and then the long shot in, scooped by Healy. Healy's been sharp here in the second. All 9 shots face stopped. As North Shore looking to regain the multiple goal lead with the offensive zone draw. Knocked free, Arsenault across the line. as he'll just fire it into the far side corner. Last minute of the year in the second. Tied up behind the goal as Hutchings looks to work it free. He's being hounded as Debut looks over his options. Up to the point, Arsenault. He fires a shot in as a weird shot handcuffs Healy as he just has to basket catch it against the Titans logo on his chest. As the teams will make subtle adjustments here with 44.7 to play in the second. McLeish and Balanek on the draw. That one will be flipped out and into the North Shore bench. Only 4 seconds coming off the clock there. We'll reset and do it again from the offensive end. McLeish on the draw. McLeish looking for the shot right off as Turner has it come back as it pops up high in the air. It gets ringed around the board. Sheridan will pick it up. Sheridan fires the shot in front as it goes to the far side corner. Hackett throws it on target right in the slot as it'll be cleared out quickly by the Titans. Hackett keeps it in at the line. Turner from the sharp angle as Howard bashes away at the side, and that's going to draw a crowd. Here we go again. Filipponi just couldn't clear the line as the Whitecaps were quick back on the attack, and Turner from the sharp angle as Healy made the save, but Howard with the late whack, and it appears that Howard could be the only player going here. It appears a roughing call is made against the Titans. And Barrett will be going. Connor Barrett, that's his 9th minor penalty of the Central Region Championship. The clock's still showing a upcoming power play here for the Titans, as I believe they might have issued 2 roughing calls as well after the whistle to Barrett as well. As Toronto is in the offensive end, but only 1 man in the box for the Whitecaps, and just 2 minutes up on the clock. So a roughing minor as well assessed and coming to serve Kinchin. So Toronto to the power play. Bashing away it is. Nobly to the point. Fires the shot in. That gets tipped in front, up and out of play. 12.6 to play here in the second.
19 minutes, 41 seconds. Howard for North Shore, 2 for slash, 2 for rough. Barrett for Toronto, 2 for roughing at 19:41.
McLeish and Nobly on the draw. Nobly will get kicked. Tadeo Tavernese will not come in as Lacona, and everyone's directing traffic here as Balanek, the 4th option here, will take the draw as Balanek wins it back. Lacona looks to work it up to the point. It gets tied up on the near side boards as Toronto has to work it free quickly. Alexiou moves it to the front of the net. A big block in front by Hackett as McLeish takes a run at Lacona in the corner. More pushing and shoving after the whistle. These teams have to be very, very careful. The officials calling everything here in the second, as North Shore will retreat back to the bench. Ryan and Healy, the 2 goaltenders, bump fists at center as both sides will go off. It's a one-goal game here in semifinal number 1. Third period action up next. You don't want to go anywhere here on the OHF YouTube channel.
Something to call mine. Oh, I need someone to talk to. Right now. Oh, we are on the way. Starting today.
This building, this province, and these fan bases
Canada's
are
best men's under 18 club teams come to Peterborough this spring for the 2026 TELUS Cup. Who will follow in the footsteps of the greats that have come before? Catch all the action live from April 20th to 26th at the Peterborough Memorial Centre. Tickets are available now at hockeycanada.ca/TELUS Cup.
I love hockey. I always have since I was a kid, and the first shift is what got me into playing hockey.
In 2014, Hockey Canada and Bauer set out to create a program that would help introduce hockey to new-to-hockey families across the country. This program is called the First Shift. More than 10 years ago, Tim laced up the skates for the first time ever through a First Shift program in Scarborough.
Back in 2014, my parents first heard about the First Shift program through one of the local community centers. My parents immigrated to Canada several decades ago. They actually didn't know anything about hockey, even when we started. My siblings and I, we would watch it on YouTube, we would listen to the games on the radio, but we didn't really know much about how the game was played. And because of this First Shift program, we actually learned a lot about hockey. Without it, I don't believe that we would have been playing on the ice. Trying on hockey equipment for the first time was a very exciting experience. I'd only seen hockey equipment on the professionals and seen them on the ice, seen clips of them. Putting all the gear on, it was like I was one of them. Something that I remember most about the First Shift, the welcome event, was how overwhelming it was. All the gear, all the people. I really didn't know what was going on, but the fit experts were very professional. They knew what they were doing. They walked us through everything, and just the excitement afterwards is something that really stuck with me. Something that still stands out to me from that first experience is the coaches. Stepping out onto the ice for the first time was very exhilarating. I was a bit nervous, but the coaches, they took care of those nerves right away. And after that, it was just fun. After the First Shift, what kept me involved in hockey was the sanctioned minor programs, the Scarborough Ice Raiders. I played with them for several years. First Shift means a lot to me personally. It kind of shaped my life growing up, because without this program, I wouldn't have gotten into hockey. Without hockey, I don't think I would be the kind of person I am. Being able to play on a team, work with teammates, day in, day out, build that sense of community is something that shaped my life throughout.
Having great fit experts is outstanding. They are the heart and soul of this program. Having experts such as Tim convey their love of the game and their expert advice on equipment fitting reassures family and begins their hockey journey in the best possible way.
It feels awesome to give back to the program that started my hockey journey. I'm very grateful to First Shift, and I'm grateful to be back here and be able to be on the other side, give back to other kids, give back to my community. So something that I would say to a family that's considering the First Shift program is that it's absolutely worth it. You're getting a full set of gear and ice time at such an affordable cost. You're also getting memories that your child will be able to carry with them through the rest of their life. It's something that you'll never forget.
I had a really rough year, obviously. It kind of brought some light to what had happened to me. And
you know, it was really perseverance in the face of adversity. Non-hockey related injury, but one of significance.
Getting the news that he had the fractures, and it was a compression fracture, and him not being able to move, and just waiting for the news to see if he needed surgery or if he was going to be able to walk, if it had hit any nerves. It was frightening.
it was hard, but what motivated me was the support I had around me. I felt like I couldn't fail.
With Dominic, he didn't walk away from hockey through his recovery. He continued to participate as best he could. Hockey's taught me you got to do the hard thing, because usually the hard thing is the right thing to do. That perseverance, just pushing yourself through hard things, and it's helped shape the values of my whole personnel overall. Today, everybody's busy. And to see young people like Dominic with the opportunity to set aside time to contribute to community is very important. I want kids to have the same experience I had when I was a kid. I went to Knights games when I was younger, and you come home with a mini stick or a puck, and it's like the best thing ever. I think a lot of people bond over hockey and what it's given to them, so I want to give the same to the future youth. Having a scholarship program, it just allows us to recognize some of those individuals that have just taken that to the next level.
I mean, I cried. I was super proud of him being recognized for such an amazing award.
Obviously, I wasn't able to work for about 6 months. It's helped me and my family a lot, just paying for school and it being less of a burden. It's not about just developing a hockey player. It's about developing good citizens.
So that specific shooting drill that we were working on today is to help give them those extra shooting techniques so that in a game-like situation, they're not just using one or two, they've got multiple ways of being able to shoot the puck. Not only does that make it more difficult for the defenseman to defend, but also for that goaltender to not only track it, but making sure that they're able to square up on the puck as well. So just helps them become more of that lethal player that they're looking for at that elite level.
Out here, we're working on a lot of transitioning, walking the blue line, puck retrievals. Lots of that has to do with being able to take good angles to pucks, good routes to pucks, being able to shoulder check, being able to execute some deception. There's a setup, there's a trap, there's a payoff to every move. So making sure that the players are understanding the process in how to identify danger, identify options, and how to misdirect players under a stressful environment.
So a lot of our focus points here at the Program of Excellence Under 15 is going to be helping the goaltenders a lot with their preparation before the shot. Things like leading with the eyes, scanning the ice before they make their movements, being able to put themselves into the right places at the right times, and ultimately set themselves up for success when the shot comes off the stick. We're also going to be tying in a couple small technical areas where we're talking about a lot of sequencing in their movement, about how the body is supposed to operate from the top of the head down into their skates in order to generate that real strong and effective movement.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to third period action here of semifinal number 1 between the Toronto Titans and the North Shore Whitecaps. In the first period, all Whitecaps. The second period, all Titans, as it's a 1-goal game as we head to the final 20 minutes of play. The Titans will begin the third period on the minute 41 power play after the late penalty to Braxton Howard for the Slashes. Here's some of the highlights from the first as Tadeo Tavernese. He got the Titans on the board, followed up by the Balanik shot, batted home by Lacona into the back of the goal, and the Titans trail by 1 here in the final frame. Been an action-packed game as it's up to Nobili on the point. He'll return. Balanik walks downhill looking for the backdoor feed. Alexiou goes spinning around on the one-timer attempt. Goulet across the line. Longo a step offside. As we'll reset from the neutral zone. Titans on their 5th power play here. They're 0 for 4 on the night. Shots in that second period, 10-9 in favor of the Whitecaps. However, the Titans find the lone 2 markers of the period. Pays off one back as Arsenault will walk it back and fire it into Toronto territory. Nobly behind the goal. Near side Balanik as he'll cut across the middle. Balanik hits the brakes at the hash marks as he'll take the return feed from Nobly. Balanik working downhill. He fires a shot that's blocked in front. Tavernese to Balanik. Balanik at the hash marks. He fires a sharp angle as turned away to the corner. Alexiou gets checked off behind the play as he'll be scooped up. Lacona up top for Nobly. Nobly walks the line, leaves it off Alexiou from the left side flank. His shot on target is turned away by Cam Ryan. The Titans missing some valuable pieces on the power play. As ejected from the game was Noah Krula in the first after a fight with Rocco Williams. Also without Ryan Walsh, who got kicked out of the game. Some changes to the personnel as kicked out from the draw will be Tavernese in to take Balanik. Kamaker and Filipponi in. Kamaker from the line. Filipponi. Return feed. Kamaker moves it over. Tavernese far side looking for the deflection in front. It's chaos in front as it can't be tapped home by Balanik. As the Whitecaps look to clear, it's held at the line. Kamaker, 9 seconds left on the power play. Filipponi works it over to the near side. 3 seconds left. Balanik over the middle, no one there. And Filipponi has to retract in neutral. Kinchin out of the box. As this will be played all the way back down towards the goal line. Kamaker picks it up first. He'll leave it off Filipponi. Kinchin was serving the slashing call as Farmer got taken in the box on a coincidental minor as well. He's got to stay until the next whistle as the puck stays alive. Drew brings it off the backboards. Arsenault, long lead feed for Hutchings as he gets it to Deboo in the offensive end. Deboo from the far side, turned away by Healy. Deboo cuts over the middle, tries to work himself free. Toe drag shot knocked away by Kamaker in front. Arsenault holds the line. He tries to direct it to the front of the net, but hits off a pair of skates and will be controlled by the Titans. Kamaker will leave it up for Pavlovic. The Toronto, Ontario native across the blue line. Can't get onside. Angers. Return feed to the near side as it's crossed the line by Pursley. He'll fire it far side corner as Hutchings is first to it. He tries to chip it around Sulich. Held at the line. Kamaker, a long blast is blocked high in the air as it comes down right in front of Blake Deboo. Kamaker moves it forward as Drew picks up the puck in his own end. Feed to the near side, Goulet. He'll flip it into the offensive end. Farmer's going to be first to it. Farmer has trouble maintaining possession as Sulich chops at it on the boards. Farmer battling over in the middle, looking to get that puck free from Angers, but Sulich scoops up the loose puck. He'll fire it in the offensive end. Toronto getting a wholesale change. Goulet to Turner at the red line. Devonish will move it back the other way as it's into North Shore territory. Sheridan hounded from behind. Toronto can't center the attempt behind the goal as Sheridan takes behind Ryan. Sheridan leaves it off McLeish. He'll flick it out, but held at the line by O'Neill. A nice jumping effort by the Titans forward as it clears back out for Armour. Armour off the end boards as Ryan controls, and I believe the net comes off there as we'll get a stoppage. 4:02 into the third period. We'd like to say thank you to our partners for supporting today's event. Special recognition goes to Milk, a proud partner of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Dairy Farmers of Ontario are proud to support young athletes and encourage healthy, active lifestyles. Toronto Titans, Jason Nobley, said that they're comfortable in uncomfortable situations. Long shot in, tipped wide of the target. Not much more of an uncomfortable situation than being down 3-0 in the first period, but they've battled back to be down 1 here in the third. Bouncing puck controlled by Drew. He'll get to the red line, fire it in to the far side corner. Armour takes behind the goal. He'll look to cut it up ice. Puck controlled by Longos. He'll fling it back into the offensive end. Healy calling for Devenish. He'll leave it off for Pinaretta as now it bounces between the legs of Devenish. He'll have to ring it back the other way. Jackman pins him off. Armour with it on the boards. Looks to move it forward as Devenish takes and walks the other way. Davis Devenish across the red line on target. That'll be scooped up by Ryan. And he'll take it for a face-off exactly 5 minutes here into the third period. Cam Ryan, he played in North Shore's 2-0 loss against the Waterloo Wolves and the 3-1 victory over their OMHA rivals, the Markham Waxers. He's been spectacular for the Whitecaps, a .944 save percentage and a 1.5 goals against average through those 2 games. He stopped 14 of 16 tonight. His shot right off the draw, misses wide of the target. Hutchings looks to work it out as that'll be poked forward, but thrown right back into Whitecaps territory as Arsenault will take behind the goal. The Whitecaps, winners of their last 3 in the round robin, has only played into the offensive end for the Whitecaps as Filipponi rings it around the boards. He gets it to Balanek. Far side, Nobley. He'll ring it around the boards. Ryan up the near side as a big hit, and that's going to draw a penalty. As here we go again. The team's converging after the check. And it will be Sandiford going off, as here's the replay of the hit. Ryan playing it around. And Sandiford just blindsiding Balanek. And it's a 4-minute penalty. An extended power play here for the Titans. As Sandiford is sent off. 4 minutes head contact, the call. Balanek on the draw after taking the big hit from Sandiford. Pin in the corner. It's tied up as big hit by McLeish as Toronto can't fight it free. Getting support from the North Shore bench as they're killing off valuable seconds here. Finally blown down, but 25 seconds off the clock here. And nothing positive on the power play for the Titans. There's a look at Lucas Balanek. Picked up an assist on the second goal, as he's got 9 points in 5.5 games. Face-off will come outside. Alexiou, he'll win the drawback as Sheridan takes. He'll spin and fire, but has difficulty clearing the line as he'll be sent down on the second attempt. Balanek will work up speed behind the goal. He'll take it to the outside. Balanek around Howard. He'll hit the brakes near the goal line, work it back up high. Alexiou. Back to Balanek. Up top, Nobley, long shot in, turned away by Ryan as it goes to the corner. Alexiou being pressured by Howard. Tavernese, he'll get pinned to the boards by Sheridan. It's rang around the boards for Nobley. Nobley, the long shot in, blocked in front and cleared to the line by Howard. Healy plays it up for Balanek. Balanek nearly has it bounce off his stick, but he recovers as He comes across the line with a burst of speed. To the outside, Balanick backdoor feed, couldn't get it through. Tavernise leaves it off. Balanick over the middle to Nobly. Backdoor feed, couldn't squeeze it through to Tavernise. Alexiou will leave it low. Tavernise turns it over as it clears the line. Balanick trying to move it quickly. He's being hounded by Longo, but Balanick gets free. Leaves it off Alexiou. He fires the shot that's blocked in front, up and out of play. 2:16 remains on the man advantage. 12:39 to play here in the third. Here's the latest look at Balanick into the offensive end. Has moved it over quickly, and the sharp angle shot blocked in front, up and out of play. A strong penalty kill here for the Whitecaps as Pinaretta will be kicked from the draw here, and they'll do it again. In to take will be Pursley. The big-bodied forward for the Titans gets tied up on the draws. He'll be running around the boards. Howard to it first. He gets pinned off in the corner. Battle for it ensues. North Shore looking to take as much time off this clock as possible as the first minor is done. Still 2 minutes on the advantage. Filipponi works downhill as he'll have to spin back towards the blue line. Has it near the hash marks as it's worked up to the point. Kamaker leaves it off Filipponi. Played behind the goal as Sheridan takes it into the corner and try and clear the line. It's held in at the point by Filipponi. To the far side, O'Neill. Back to the near side, walking in shot. That misses wide of the target and clears the line. Tyler Turcotte getting his short-handed guys a break here as they'll go for a wholesale change. 1:25 on the man advantage. 11:44 on an expiring clock here in the third. To the outside, Kamaker across the line. He'll just ring it around for Pinaretta. He keeps it in. Behind the goal line now, Pursley with it. To the far side, O'Neill. He'll walk in. Downhill, fires a shot, bounces back out to the slot, and the net comes off once again. Defensive zone whistle for the Whitecaps, 59 seconds. Still here on the power play. Here's the shot from O'Neill. It took a big bounce off the end boards and a diving effort, but that pushing leg from Ryan, I believe, knocks off the post. As a proud partner, the Hockey Hall of Fame provides players of the game for all championship games. The Hall, home of the Stanley Cup and hockey at its best. Nobly off for Balanick as it's moved over the middle, worked out by McLeish. McLeish across the middle to the backhand on Nobly as Nobly falls to the ground, but McLeish gets tied up behind the play. Puck comes free, Tavernise. He'll leave it off Alexiou. Alexiou across the line with the burst speed. Toe drag shot turned away by the blocker of Ryan. Lacona to Balanick down low. He'll be worked out by North Shore's Kane Goulet works it one-on-one against Nobly. He'll fake the shot to the outside. Goulet in. Great save by Healy on the goal line. Healy pounces on the loose puck as Goulet had to take the long route around the backside of the goal. And Healy, alert to the loose puck, jumps on the rebound. Hard to see there as Nobly comes diving across as well. A near chance for North Shore to strike while shorthanded. Pavlovic against Leash, a battle of the nines on the draw. McLeish won it back as North Shore will retreat with 16 seconds left on the power play. Angers across the line, he'll drop it off. Now we'll move forward. Angers backdoor feed, couldn't get it through as it was an awning cage as Ryan had committed to the initial shot. We're back to even strength, and it's met with cheers from the North Shore faithful as they kill off the 4-minute advantage. Pavlovic. He'll get to center, fire it in deep as Ryan will let it tick behind the goal. Arsenault looks to work it out. We're approaching the midway point here in the third. 10 minutes to play in a one-goal game in semifinal number 1. Angers makes a nice move. He's got to keep it away from the hounding Hutchings as it's played in the offensive end. Drew It's pulled around as Toronto keeping it with possession in deep as it'll be worked out by Turner. Can't clear the line. This one finally does come free as Kamenker with it. Nearly loses control of it as it would have sprang Hutchings in alone as Kamenker's got to reset behind his own net. North Shore looking to trap in the neutral zone as Kamenker to the outside. He'll work it across the middle. He's onside. Fires the shot, turned away by Drew. Rebound chance at the side. That one goes behind the goal as Ryan redirects. Tavernese has that one escaped by him as puck will be chipped high and out of the zone as Kamenker's got to knock it down. O'Neill onside. He has the stick knocked out of his hands. No call. Farmer works it over the middle with a burst of speed. Farmer has it knocked off his stick as it'll be fired in by Jackman just wide of the target as Healy will leave it for Armour. Armour for Pinoretta as he builds up speed in his own end. Pinoretta moves it to the outside. An effort by Tavernese, but it was knocked off his stick. Armour looking to move it forward as he gives a bump to Callery as Callery gets knocked down. No call. Devenish. Long lead feed. O'Neill will beat out the icing call. O'Neill in the offensive end will move it up. Pinoretta to the goal line. Sharp angle shot. Misses wide off the side of the goal. Up top, Devenish, a long shot in. That misses wide on the short side as Armour pinches down to hold it in. He beats Farmer to the puck. Drew looks to work it out over the middle as he's being hounded from behind as he'll wait and get it clear of the blue as O'Neill right back in on the attack. O'Neill cutting hard to the net. He fires a shot turned away by Ryan. Cam Ryan been sharp here in the third as he turns away another chance for the Titans. Here's the last look by O'Neill. Fakes it to the outside, uses the strength to get to the inside on Drew, dig his shoulder in, create a little bit more space for himself. But Cam Ryan up to the task. 7:34 to play here in the third. Puck stays in at the line. Filipponi holds. Nobley will swing it down behind the goal. Bouncing puck controlled by Balanik as he'll move it right to the slot, but no one in a blue shirt near as Longo works it out the other way. He'll get across center, fire to the far side corner, and Longo scoops up his own dump in first. He's bumped off the puck as it'll be left for Balanik. He has trouble gaining the puck and traction moving forward as now we'll get to center and fire it in deep. No icing the call. Ryan out to slow it up. Plays it right by Balanik as it's up the middle. McLeish tries to cut back as Alexiou knocked it down. It'll just be played into Toronto territory. Healy leaves it for Barrett. 6:42 and ticking on the clock. Balanik picks it up from Barrett. Balanik waits as he takes a hack across center and fires it in deep. Ryan will leave it for Arsenault. To the far side boards, that'll be chipped up and out as Balanik back to retrieve. Reminder, no Noah Krula for the Titans as they're without the 7-point man for them. For North Shore, no Rocco Williams, who had a goal and an assist. Goulet to the outside. He'll leave it off Hutchings. Angers takes him into the boards. Hutchings will chip it around him and regain his own puck. He fires a sharp angle shot turned away by the blocker. Debut on the rebound. Debut takes it towards the goal line, looking to work to his forehand. That shot right through the blue paint as it will clear out the other side. Held at the line momentarily. It finally does escape as Debut back on the rebound. He'll turn it over as Pursley walks it across the line. He'll drop it off Angers. He tries to move it back door, but it was blocked in front and clear the line by the Whitecaps. Angers right back on side. The Titans are looking to move as Pavlovic will circle back. He's across the line. Offside the call as he hit the brakes right at the blue line, and Pursley got a step too soon. Entropy, the official online championship apparel provider, offers championship gear available for order now. As here's the spin back, and Pursley couldn't hold the leg back long enough. Connor Pursley, 2 assists in the Central Region Championship for the assistant captain of the Titans. Pavlovic and McLeish on the draw. And we play back for Sheridan as he moves it to Drew. Over the middle, McLeish. Knocked down by Lacona as Lacona will turn it back the other way. Moves it to Pavlovic on the outside. He'll flip it to the near side for Pursley. Pursley takes down McLeish as it's moved to the side of the goal and quickly covered by Ryan. North Bay faithful wanting a call against Pursley. Not going to get it here. As Toronto will set up in the offensive end. 5:01 to play in the third of a 1-goal game. North Shore, all the pressure in the first. Scored all 3 goals in that first frame on 13 shots. Toronto, 2 in the second. The third, no goals to this point. Faceoff will be won back. Armour moves it to the corner as it goes all the way around. Up to the point. Devenish, long lead shot as it's blocked in front by Sheridan. He'll work it out to neutral. Howard to the outside. Devenish behind the goal line as a sharp angle shot is deflected and blocked. Jackman tries to fire the shot, but he fanned on it as it's scooped up by Toronto. As Pinaretta takes a check, and Howard back into the offensive end. Devenish behind his own goal. He'll leave it off for Armour. Armour outside Tavern East. That one just outside of his reach as Goulet scoops it up. Nearly has his pocket picked as Goulet has to turn back the other way. Krula and Walsh ejected for Toronto. Rocco Williams ejected for North Shore. Both teams playing with shortened benches, especially here in the semis. 4:01 to play. Toronto trails by 1. Hackett holds behind his own goal. Long lead feed will be tipped into the offensive end by Callery. Barrett will work up speed through his own zone. He'll take it to the outside as Deboo hammers him. And a chance now the other way as Callery, a great move. Filipponi stumbling. Callery to the front of the goal. It's turned away by Healy. Would have been an incredible individual effort by Dylan Callery. But he's turned away by Healy on the back door. Dylan Callery, the Hampton, Ontario native, had 11 points. Where's the A for the Whitecaps? David Healy been sharp since the first. He's stopped the last 16 shots against him. Deboo to the corner. Will swing it down low. Angers rings it around. Nobly works it out, looking for the home run shot to Balanik, but that one got deflected by a North Shore stick as it's worked to the weak side. Deboo, he's across the blue line. Looks for the backdoor feed. Deboo cutting towards the goal. He'll wait. Spins back. Gets towards the front. He's knocked off the puck by Angers. And Balanik takes it 1-on-2 the other way. Balanik immediately challenged in neutral as Angers gets it across. Angers tries to go for the individual effort. Nobly, he gets a shot off. Rebound was there, but no one in a blue shirt to capitalize. Puck clears the zone as 2:45 and ticking here in the third. Balanik to the outside. He'll get checked but firing in deep as Ryan's out to slow it up. Sheridan, long pass over the middle as he finds McLeish. McLeish has his pocket picked. Rebound still loose at the side. Howard over the middle. Intercepted by Alexiou. As he'll try and get it back quickly. McLeish bashing away at it as he'll fall to the ice. Kamiker with the puck. Doesn't know where it is. It's poked away by Jackman on the rush. Jackman, a toe drag shot. Is blocked off by Devenish. Jackman back on the puck. He'll cycle it down low. 2 minutes to play in the third. Devenish He'll flick it forward as it's turned away by Hackett. Toronto getting no possession time here in the offensive end. Kamenker moves it up Devonish. He'll flip it in. Ryan out to slow it up. Puck behind the goal. Healy still in the net to this point. Jason Nobley calling the shots, holding his goaltender for the time being. 1:28 to play, and Kamenker will take it in his own end. Titans need to push the pace here. Pinaretta, they get across the line, and here comes Healy to the bench. O'Neill's shot turned away by Ryan. Offensive zone draw coming for the Titans. 68 seconds to play. And the Titans will call for a timeout. Here's the last look at the long-range O'Neill shot. He faked and then walked into it a little more, but right into the chest of Ryan. He's turned away 21 of 23 tonight. Six on 5 here for the Titans. A chance at the TELUS Cup on the line. Chance for the finals first, looking to go to the gold medal game of the Central Region Championship. The winner to the TELUS Cup. Whitecaps started the tournament 0-2. They rattled off 3 straight wins, and they have a 3-2 lead with 68 seconds to play. The Titans 4-0-1 in the round robin, yet to suffer a regulation loss to this point. They trail by 1 with 68 seconds to play. Offensive zone draw for Toronto. Both benches getting into it. Palaniuk against McLeish. And the draw will be won by Toronto. Played down low into the corner. Last minute of play here in the third. Puck will be cleared out as it gets to center. Palaniuk scoops it up first. He'll get to center, fire it back in. Ryan out of the goal to play it. Palaniuk across the line. A nice pass to Nobley. He'll hit the brakes. Moves it up high. Kamenker. He'll wait. Looks for a shooting lane. Doesn't have one. Palaniuk. He'll fire a shot in front. And it's blocked away by the Whitecaps, and it clears down the ice. Not enough for an icing. 30 seconds to play. Titans season on the line. Into the offensive end. Pursley. He gets pinned off in the corner. Tavernese battling away at it. It's pinned against the wall. Titans trying to fight it free. It comes loose at the side. Palaniuk a sharp angle. O'Neill on the doorstep, whiffed on it. Kamenker, 7 seconds to play. Sharp angle shot, turned away. In the crease, Kamenker bashes away. That's gonna do it! The North Shore Whitecaps to the gold medal game! They take down the Titans. And they played for a chance to go do the TELUS Cup tomorrow.
Toronto 2. Final shots on goal, North Shore 28, Toronto 23.
The Titans
both teams to please line up on their respective
doing
blue
all
lines.
they can at the end of the game. Just couldn't get a shot through the stout defense. As the Toronto Titans will play for bronze medal tomorrow at 12. And the North Shore Whitecaps, after starting 0-2, have rattled off 4 consecutive wins, and they'll play for gold at 3:30. Heartbreak for the Titans, elation for the Whitecaps. Final score, Whitecaps 3, Titans 2. What a game we were treated to here in semifinal number 1. Shots in the third period, 9-5 in favor of the Titans.
The game receiving a free pass to the Hawk Hall of Fame, home of the Stanley Cup and hockey at its best. Additionally, players of the game receiving a commemorative mug. The player of the game for the Toronto Titans, number 24, Jaden O'Neill.
Player of the game for the Toronto Titans, number 24, Jaden O'Neill. O'Neill, a strong tournament, a goal and 2 assists.
The player of the game for the North Shore Whitecaps is number 12, Joey Longo.
Joey Longo, the player of the game for the Whitecaps. He had an assist on the second goal, and he scored the third goal on the power play.
Let's give both these teams a round of applause for their outstanding efforts during this game here this afternoon.
A fantastic game from semifinal number 1. We'll recoup and get back here at 3:30 as the other spot for the gold medal game is up in question. It's the host, the Markham Waxers, taking on the Waterloo Wolves. Join us back here. We just treated to a fabulous game. Final score, Whitecaps 3, Titans 2. We hope to catch you in the next one.
Stack on stack, rack on rack, black, back on back. That gon' clap, rack on rack.